Welcome to the Bougie Black Brother Network. Good evening and welcome to Car Wax. I'm Michael, your Bougie Black Brother. And we're here for our music review, and I'm here with my partner, Sean.
Woody, son.
Squid, what's the business? So, how's your week, man?
It's going pretty good. You know, my birthday's tomorrow, so
that's right.
I've been studying for this drone test. If you don't know, I want to give a heads up to everybody. So what I'm doing for my birthday, and the gift for my birthday, you call me what you want. Even my niece called me lame, so I'll take it. But I'm going to spend some money to go ahead and get my drone certification. If y'all know anything about drones, y'all can fly. You can fly for free, but if you want to start getting paid for it, you're going to have to get certified, because especially if you're black. Because if you're black and you're flying a drone, they will tackle your ass criminal. And they will shoot your ass.
There's something criminal.
And then they would say that you were looking in windows.
Yeah.
You know, so you definitely want to be licensed.
Legitimate.
Yeah, to do it. So yeah, tomorrow morning I will be going ahead and getting my taking the test, but I'm gonna pass it. But we'll be going ahead and getting my certification to fly drones professionally.
Big up to Sean. Yeah, he got me into the drone, but I just haven't been able to fly like I want to. But he's the man when it comes to it. And if you don't know nothing about drones, if you saw Puerto Rico and the devastation of Puerto Rico, those are drones. Everything that you were seeing from a distance and the footage, those are straight drones. So, yeah, kind of weird, right? But it is what it is. But today we're talking music, and we got two ladies on the docket. How you say it? Rapsody?
Rapsody. Yeah.
Rapsody.
Yeah, Rapsody.
Not with the H, but rap.
Right. Exactly.
Rapsody. And Jhene Aiko, right?
Aiko.
Yeah, so whatever. But Jhene, we're gonna go with the Jhene because we're not gonna be fucking that up all throughout the podcast.
Okay.
But the first one I listened to, so we're gonna start with Jhene, and you know, Sean threw those out at me. He said, "Hey, here's a couple that you wanna check out so we can do the podcast on." So I picked the two ladies. I decided to say, let me pick the two ladies like we did the other time with the R&B, but this was a R&B slash rap. And I've been hearing a lot of things about Rapsody anyway. So I was like, let me just put it out there and listen to what it is.
Right.
So what was your straight up on Jhene? Because, you know, we kind of talked about it before, but give me the background on that, yo.
All right, so Jhene Aiko is she's Big Sean's old lady. You know what I'm saying? They've been kicking it with each other for a minute. She dropped in, like, her mixtape was 2011, and then she dropped an album. So she ain't been in the game for long. But she's been in the game good enough to, you know, get her feet wet, I would say.
Gotcha.
And so when I heard this album, I really wasn't expecting anything from her. Like one of her biggest tracks that she did, if you follow her, if you don't follow her, she had a lot of features on her previous music. So she sold out. She had a lot of features selling out. And all of these are sold, S-O-U-L, of course. Sell, S-A-I-L, not selling out.
Yep. Sailing soul.
Right. So if you know Jhene, you know that she's a very spiritual person, and you know that's kind of, and she do drugs. That's like her thing. You know what I'm saying? Pop pills, smoke weed, kick it. She. As sweet as she looks, she hood in the motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? She real hood.
Yeah, we found that out on the new cut. Well, I did, put it that way.
Right. So, and then when you listen to some of her old music, you know, one of her songs is I don't need you, I don't need you. And that was kind of like her stamp. You know, it wasn't a love song that she started off with. She, you know, so basically her writing skills made her. So now I'm listening to this Trip album and I'm like, okay, that's what's up. Let me listen to it. Come to find out, Fisticuff, the producer, has been producing for her since day one. So like her original mixtape was pretty much all Fisticuff, the same person that produced this whole album.
All right.
So I'm listening to the album. Well, and then another guy, I'm gonna bring him up in a second. So I'm listening to it, and it's all going together. Like songs are going in with each other. So I'm just like, okay, wow, okay, I see where this is going. Everything you're creating a story,
Right.
you know. So I'm listening to it. I'm like, okay, the first tracks are nice. They're really nice love songs, like all of them. It's like, okay, the beats are good, the vocals are good, the lyrics are good.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what's up. And then you realize it's 22 tracks, so you kind of getting deeper and deeper into it.
Long as fuck. Yeah.
And then you're just like, understanding that it's a story.
Right.
You know, so when I heard the first 2 or 3 tracks, and I was just like, oh, they're going together very smooth. So I guess I got to hear the whole thing as a story then. So I'm listening to the whole thing, and it's complete. I would say that the album is a complete album. She didn't I didn't hear her force anything on that album. The only 2 issues that I had about that album was the 2 features she had with her man.
Right.
The track with Big Sean was fair, especially compared to the rest of the album.
Right.
You know, and then the 2088 is basically Jhene, Aiko, and Big Sean's group. You know, 2088 is them.
Okay.
So they actually had an album together called 2088. Of course, 2088 is 100 years from when they were born. You know. So overall, listening to the whole album, I was highly impressed. I didn't see anything wrong with the beats. I didn't see anything wrong with the lyrics. And I appreciated the 22 songs for what it was, because Def Jam gave her 22 tracks to put on this album.
Yep.
You know, and for me, I listened to the song last Sunday. I listened to that whole album last Sunday. Popped it in while I was editing, and I was like, okay, this is pretty good. But it was so good that I didn't turn it off. Then I listened to it Monday, and then I was like, okay, let me try to find the bad parts about this album. Let me critique it. This is strict critiquing. And it was hard to find bad things in the album, for me personally, because the vocals were so good, the production was so good, and the beats were so good. So overall, man, I really give it, as far as the R&B album, this is the best R&B album of the year for me.
Wow. Okay.
No question about it.
Wow. Okay. I hear you. So this was odd for me because on the first end, because it was so many tracks. So let me start that off. What kind of frustrated me, it was so many tracks.
Right.
But as I went through the first hand, I was like, R&B, gotcha. Kind of heard that. Beats was nice. She has a good voice. She kind of telling a story. Yeah, it was okay. And then it got up to like the 7th or 8th cut. And it took a turn to me. No, the 11th with Corrupt.
Right.
Never Call Me. And after that, it went into something that I didn't expect. So she went into like the overstimulated, fucking loved it.
Right.
The Oblivion. She started getting into, yo, this is what happens. Sometimes the situation, I just got fucked up. And it had a whole vibe like that. She started it from the 1 to about 8 or so. She kind of alluded to it within the song. So,
right.
And you heard that before. You know, there's a lot of artists that kind of throw in the drugs a little bit right here. I'm chilling, weed or whatever like that. But on the back end, I started really feeling something different. And I started enjoying it a whole lot more. To me, if you would have got me at 11 and went to 22, I would have been fine.
And then left it at that.
Left it at that. But to your point, it built up. The first portion, it built up because it was a true story. It was a story that she said, you got to know this before I shock you into the back end.
Yep.
So me and Sean talked about it earlier, and it was, I look at a whole lot of foreign films, and a lot of foreign films got to get you set up. they set you up with the characters, and you like, this is not what the fucking story is about. But they want to let you know who they are, who's going to be there, what's the situation, and then it kicks in. And then you go, oh, shit.
Right.
So it gave me a production like that. But I enjoyed the back end because that's what really I wasn't looking for.
Right.
And
you've
I
seen
love
it as a
artists that-
movie. You've seen it as a story, but it surprised you in the end like a story, like a movie.
Exactly. Because it's foreshadowing.
Right.
What the process of foreshadowing is, I'm going to drop some things, but when I start showing you or start singing it, then you can understand what I was talking about. And that's what she did from the 1 through 8 or 1 through whatever. And then the back end, you was like, yo, that's what the fuck she was talking about.
Okay.
So that's where I was started enjoying the whole album as a whole.
Right, as a whole.
Except for saying, I'm going to reject the first end and I'm only good with that.
Right.
But when I went back, I was like, damn,
Oh,
this was
that's
really
why.
fucking creative.
Yeah.
And they let her. And these are the things that I'm really enjoying because of some of the, studios and all won't allow you to do shit like this.
Yeah.
They really won't.
Not at all.
And then it was like, no, that's not what people want to hear. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to try this. And as a whole, if you're patient enough, you will enjoy the whole story. But if you're not patient, I think more people will look at the back end and enjoy it in that way.
Well, and to your point, if they're not patient, I think they'll listen to the first 10 and be like, this is just a regular album.
Exactly. Exactly.
So, yeah.
Which that was pretty cool, though.
What's that?
Because if you really wanted a good singing R&B album, she gave you that.
This was it, yeah.
She gave you that.
She gave you everything.
Yeah.
And she gave it to you smooth.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I got to bring up 7th Streeter.
Yeah, you go.
She gave you everything, but it was forced by the record company.
Yep. And you can hear it
Right.
throughout her production.
Right.
You know what I mean? And with her production, it didn't overwhelm her.
Not at all. But
Or
they were
it didn't
huge
lose
beats.
her. But you didn't get lost either.
No, not
You know
at
what
all.
I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why I enjoyed it because I don't remember the points of, oh, that beat on that one, or yeah, when she was singing on that one, that was weak.
Because it was a story.
Yeah.
And it was kind of hard for you to decipher and pick out certain things. You literally had to pick them out like a movie.
Yeah.
Oh, well, when she said this and when she said that.
Yep.
Not necessarily, okay, well, the beat was good on this song.
Exactly.
And, you literally have to look
Exactly.
at it as a full body of work.
Yeah.
That's why I thought it was amazing.
So to your point, that's why I thought this was a value-added production that she put together.
Yeah.
And whoever worked with her allowed her to say, I want this totally the way this is.
Right.
And she did it. And you don't hear that in R&B. You
Not
don't
at all.
hear that.
That's what I'm saying. They gave her this. Well, here's the thing. That's why I brought up the producers. Fisticuff was one of the main producers. The other producer's name was Dr. Genius. Now Fisticuff been messing with her since her first mixtape.
All right.
So for him to be here and drop. So let me see if he actually did one of your favorite songs. No, he didn't do Overstimulated.
So who did
He
that?
didn't do Oblivion. Yeah, Amir Johnson. This guy, his name is Amir. I didn't look him up though. It was Amir Johnson, Dr. Genius, and Fisticuff were the 3 primary people working on this album. But it was really Fisticuff and this. What is his name? Something Johnson. It's like But anyways,
No,
yeah,
you're good.
Amir. His name is Amir. So they know what she wanted.
Right.
They already know her sound. They already know what she sound good with. And going back to the Jay-Z thing, when you have a producer that knows what you want, you know what I'm saying? It's
Right.
like, okay, this is gonna work for you. And then for her to be with Def Jam, I just think this was knowing Def Jam, I think this was a chance that they took. But knowing their artist and knowing the talent that she brought, it was like, okay, Jhene, this is what you want to do. This is a lot of tracks, Jhene.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to listen to it. And then they listened to it and they were just like, you know what? You got clout. And since you have that clout, we're going to take a chance with this.
So I think too, the producers complimented it to the point that maybe Def Jam was like, okay,
Right.
they put something together, and it's a good R&B album, even though this is a little left field on the back end. But they put together a whole good. It is a lot. You sure you want to put all of this out?
Yeah.
I really believe, to your point, the record label was kind of like, are you sure you want to put all of this shit out? She was like, it completes the story.
And they had to, and I to your point, I feel like the producers and everybody outside of her had to be like, we need every track.
Yep.
We need all of these tracks.
Yep.
No, we're not gonna put it out unless all of these tracks are here, because this is the body.
And could you imagine? There was probably a lot more than that, and
Yeah.
they got to 22.
She's been working on this album for 2 years, she said.
Okay.
So with everything, with her brother dying and like she
put that in there.
man, this is the main reason why I liked it, because it stuck with the trend going on. Depression.
Yeah. Loss.
You know what I'm saying? Loss.
Depression. Isolation.
Yep.
All types of shit that says, you know what? You may be glorifying me on the outside, but the shit that I'm going through, I gotta put it out there now.
Yeah.
Because I can't be happy for you.
Right.
When I
right.
don't feel that way.
So, with the Lil Uzi Dark album, and then with the 17, and then
XX Extension.
yeah, and then with the Logic, everybody.
Yeah. Yep.
It's a wave of, I need to get this out here. You know what I'm saying? I'm not afraid anymore. You know what? So I believe musicians made her comfortable to say, okay, it's time to put this album out now. Because again, she was working on it for 2 years.
Yep. And they was like, hold up, not yet.
Yeah.
Not yet. They
It's
know
not
you
ready
for.
yet.
They know you for. No, not yet. And then when
This wave of young kids started talking about their stress and their depression and people dying and stuff, it was
put
like,
it together.
we have to put it out now.
Put it together. Let's put it out. But to your point too, it had to be the 22.
Yeah.
They said, let's get the best, and we can't complete the story unless we get all of these 22 tracks. So I can't say great, but I really liked everything that they did about it.
Yeah.
There's I can't say, you can always nitpick and say,
Thank you.
Let me take these 5 tracks, I'll listen to them later on. But she had a story that told you certain things. So if you do take them out, it's kind of like
it's missing. Yeah.
I may not have liked it as well, but I'm missing a piece.
And here's the thing. I wouldn't have liked that song if this song wasn't before it.
Yep.
I like this song, but the way you went into the next song, the one with Corrupt.
Yep.
The song before it was good. Well, for me, again, I like the whole CD. I'm just telling you like it is.
Right.
The song before it made it going into it so well to where it kind of closed the chapter after she finished that song and went to the next part, next song, next chapter of the album. And I thought that part was, she did everything right musically. Musically, she did everything right. Production, everything. And then when you look at it as a story, it was just like, wow, okay, the story was your life. But again, to your point, you was like, we talked about this earlier before the podcast. You was just like, her lyrics allowed me to see everything that she was saying.
Shit was vivid, yo.
Yes.
And I was like, and if you listen to this, listen how she's kind of, it's almost like she's floating.
Yeah.
Thank you. They give atmosphere. And she used her voice to complement that.
Yeah.
But when you slow down and listen what she's talking about, if you miss that, you're going to miss what she's coming up next with
the next song.
Or 2 songs later. You know what I'm saying?
The beats, the production was phenomenal.
Yeah.
The second track on the album was like, oh, you're giving me this mindset, this mind frame that you want me to put in, because she talked about cleaning her house and wandering to the forest and wandering to the ocean of trees, and basically she's not wanting to come back. What happened was the energy. Someone came through the woods, and she noticed the energy. She didn't notice the person. Because the energy was directing her to that person.
Right.
But that's how she was explaining it, and I was just like, oh, this is so awesome.
So I have to ask you, when you, number one, that's where I thought she was going. That was LSD.
Right. And she wasn't going there.
She wasn't. And I was like, okay, that's fucking weird. Okay. Then she kind of went to a spiritual thing.
Yeah.
And she went on. And then it went to the bad trip. Here it is. Then I was like, but that was at the beginning. But she wanted to let you know, I may have done that in my life, but that didn't get me to the point
where I'm at now.
Yeah. And so she went through a couple of tracks.
Exactly.
So that's what made this kind of phenomenal. So I'm hearing how you're talking about it, because every time I ask people about, hey, you heard Jhene? No, man.
I hear it.
And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
This may be a highly underrated album of the year because it's an R&B album. I think that R&B isn't getting enough respect nowadays.
Because you said it when we were talking about 7th Streeter. You know what I mean? They're sounding alike.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying 7th Streeter, but a lot of the R&B singers are sounding alike. So as you keep hearing the same kind of shit, nothing really going to stand out.
Right. Okay.
So that's why I kind of went to the SZA. That's why I liked hers. Her voice sounded pretty much like everybody's, but the production and everything made me enjoy it. I liked it to that sense.
Okay.
What's her name? 7th Street is just a better singer than her.
Right.
So you kind of tolerated it. And, the people who kind of made comments on this are like, no, she's a lot better than that. You need to be listening to. I got you. Slow your roll. I respect that. It's just what I heard.
Right.
And again, everyone has their own preference. I'm going to respect her voice and her ability. But on that production in that album, I didn't really enjoy it.
Right.
I'm not saying she's not a good singer. I'm just saying I didn't enjoy it like I wanted to.
Yeah, and again, you got to blame that on.
You can. Go ahead.
You got to blame that on the record label.
Yeah, you can. And I saw it. So the record label with an average singer, SZA, was pretty goddamn good, even though she was a decent singer.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So you was like, you can push her, and you can play it, and it's a good atmosphere kind of song. But here, back to Jhene, you can listen to the front end. You listen to the front end, and it's a regular, R&B.
It's a regular R&B album that still sounds better than half of the shit that's out here.
Exactly.
You got and see that, because that was the first thing you said. When I listened to the first 10 tracks, it just sounded like a little bit of everybody else. It sounded like Rihanna. It sounded like SZA. And then I cut you short. Yep. I said, no, they sound like Jhene. You know what I'm saying? And you was like, I don't know. I got to listen to it again.
So Rihanna been out a lot longer.
Yeah, she's been out since 2005.
So she established a sound.
A sound, right.
But she got lost because she started doing other shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
So she pulled back and said, I don't need to fucking sing. I'm Rihanna. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's when everybody just kind of jumped in. There's a lot of people who does it really well without putting the Rihanna moniker on them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or the label on them. But they do it well.
Yeah, you have to give Rihanna the respect because it was Beyonce, Rihanna, Nicki Minaj.
Yep.
Like maybe 7 years ago. No, 10 years ago.
Okay.
I would say 10 years ago, it was that wave of women at that time. And everybody flocked to Beyonce. Everybody flocked to Rihanna. And then to your point, everyone had to kind of sound like them.
Yep.
In order to sell.
And then the studios. Back to your other assessment. The studio was like, no, this is what's fucking selling.
Yep.
Find the women.
You to sound like Rihanna.
Yep, exactly. Even if your sound was different.
Even if you sound better than Rihanna, we still need you to dumb it down, and we need you to make a track to this beat. I mean, make a song to this track.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And we
like
need
Rihanna.
you to sound similar.
Yep.
Figure it out.
I'll give you a couple of other ones, but the majority of shit that we want to put out, you have to sound like this.
Figure it out.
And it went from there.
Yeah.
So again, I enjoyed the shit out of it, you know, and the way you put in your perspective, I'm really liking that, because as you start peeling away other R&B singers, you're right. So if you say top female R&B singer that came out this year,
hands down.
But you kind of have to, if you respect the art. Not the song, not the label, not the production. This was art.
Yeah.
And like Solange made art.
Yep.
Her album was art. And it had so much things that she put in there that if you didn't respect that, you was fucked up.
Yeah. You couldn't. You don't know what real true art is. The essence of art.
And that's what artists. That's how you should respect artists, when they make art.
Yes.
She made art.
Yes.
This was art right here.
It's so hard. I'm gonna tell you two things. Hold on. You had brought up. What did you just bring up? You said
about what? Art or somebody?
Somebody.
No, not Scissor. Because we was talking about Scissor, and we was talking about Solange.
So
when I said Solange,
so Solange album was the best R&B album, neo soul album last year.
Yep.
This is equivalent to that this year.
Yeah. Okay.
This year, I'm not comparing albums.
No,
I don't think I can do that.
No, you shouldn't.
But this year, this is popping, and it's so hard for me to turn it off. Now here's the other catch.
Okay.
And before we go into the Rapsody, I listen to this, and I can't listen to anything else no more this year. Let me tell you the albums that I'm listening to this year after I listen to Trip. Because it was like, damn, after you hear really good quality music, everything else sounds watered down.
Ordinary.
Rap, hip, everything. So after I acknowledged that, fuck, I've been listening to this for almost 3 days straight. It was 2.5 days. I had to force myself to listen to other things.
Yeah.
And the things that I put on was the 2 Chainz, the Lil Uzi, and that's really about it.
Really?
And I briefly put on the Everybody, because the Everybody gave me that same feel that this kind of gave me. You know what I'm saying? But oh my gosh, this album is amazing, dog. And there's nothing, if it's not quality based on this Trip album, I'm not even gonna be able to listen to the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Now it's making me feel like the Kendrick Lamar didn't have enough substance, even though it was a good album.
But I think you got to separate it. And the reason why you got to separate it is because she put who she was in this.
Yeah.
Under a whole different context. So if you don't separate that, then you will dismiss other things.
Okay.
Because she actually said, like, to your point, here's the emotional shit that I'm going through. Here's the things that I stimulated myself because of shit that happened in my life.
Right.
Here's the things that happened in my life. Here's the people that's in my life, and I'm gonna put it in a fucking album. This is her on here.
Yeah.
I was
she
like,
vibed out to that.
Damn, okay.
Yeah. She gets hella praise. She had mad features on her mixtape. She had mad features on her first album. She had Gucci Mane on, I think her first album.
Man. Then she did a cut with Drake and shit.
Yep. She did
like,
a cut. Oh, that was on the mixtape.
Yeah. So I was like, damn, okay. Because even when you told me that, I was like, you was like, she been out a while, dude. I mean, this ain't new. That's what you don't know. And I was like, no, I'm gonna go back, bro.
Right.
Go back. So, when I was like, damn, she did the. Because we like that. Even when we did 2 Chainz, it was like, it's a vibe.
Yeah. She wrote that.
Yo. But it was a nice, the production. She jumped in there and it was pretty fucking cool. But no, so we at that point. So what's your rating on this?
This is a masterpiece.
Ooh.
I wanted to give it a 9.8, but I thought I was gonna get a whole lot of backlash for it.
Yeah, I think you would. Bro.
So I definitely, did an extra critique, and the critique, it gets a 9.2. I give it a 9.2.
Okay.
And the reason why I give it a 9.2 is because Big Sean should have been way better on that shit.
Or not at all.
Or not exactly. It would have been fine. But you got to give her credit.
Yep.
You got to give her credit.
Yep.
She put her man on that motherfucker.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Not only did she put her man on there, she put her daughter on there.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Which was you gotta respect it. It's not I'll play it all the time.
Nah,
it was kind of like, I got you, girl.
This is my daughter. This is my daughter singing to her mom. This
Yep.
is me singing to my daughter.
Yep.
I thought that was like unique.
Yep.
I haven't heard that before.
This is my life.
Mm-hmm.
So you get a lot of singers, rappers talking to their kids.
Right.
Or say something.
Right.
Not singing to them.
Nah, we finna do a song together.
You're gonna be
Structure.
singing.
She
Yep.
gave that child some structure and said, this is what mommy does, and this is how mommy do it. I want to do it with you, mommy. All right. Well, this is how we got to structure it.
Sing to me.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of like
Simple,
wow.
but like
but
potent.
You know the feeling.
Yes.
So it wasn't, I wanted to make a hit song. She said, I want to sing to my child.
Yep.
And I want my child to sing to me.
Yep.
Because what I pictured when I heard that was she's at home.
Yeah.
And she's singing, and then her daughter starts singing with her.
Right.
And they sang together, and she was like,
or she finna go to bed, or she's sick or something. She tired, and she's like, "Mommy, sing to me."
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So
that's what
amazing.
Exactly.
It was an amazing, full, complete, artistic album.
Yep.
I posted on my Instagram page. I said, "I'm gonna save this for last." Shout out to Creativity, and that was on Friday, and I didn't listen to it till Sunday. But it was like I knew based on her album cover, I was like, "Oh, this is where you're gonna go with it." That's creative.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that was my first thing. That's creative.
Right.
Okay, Trip. That's creative.
Yep.
This is gonna be good. That was like my first perception of it. But then when I heard it, it was still like, this is better than what you thought it was gonna be.
Yes, it was. It was. And again, I was fooled.
Yeah.
I was fooled by the first 8, 9 tracks. I was fooled. And then I was like, damn, that back end. And we talked about it.
Yeah.
I said, that back end was a lot better. And you was like, no, it's a complete album.
Yeah.
And then I was like, then I heard it. And I was like,
started noticing. Yeah.
oh shit, this is when she was talking about her brother.
Mm-hmm.
This is the drug aspect was, yeah, I do it, but
this is the
along
reasons.
the way,
Right.
this is what the fuck happened because of the
me
reasons
doing
of the
it.
shit that I'm going through.
Right.
And I was like, wow, how creative and artistic that is. And to me, and the thing is, I love art.
Right.
Everything I do is about art. I'm not doing the status quo. Whoever's hot, I'm with. No, I'm not with that.
Right.
If you hot and you do something creative, I'm with you.
Yeah, you get kudos
If you
for
hot and you do some bullshit, I'm not. Jay-Z album was good. I fucking hated the production.
Okay.
I'm not listening to it no more.
Yeah.
Because it didn't move me like I wanted it to be. Hottest guy out there. But no, I'm sorry. I'm not going to do it. Crazy ass, love him now. 2 Chainz, whenever he showed up in something, I want to hear him.
Yeah.
Because I know what he's going to bring. And when he brings it, cool, I'm good.
Yeah.
So I had it at a high 8. I got it at a 8.75.
Okay.
Even almost, I didn't want to give it a 9 because it's just so many tracks.
Got you.
So it was a little tedious. You know what I mean? It was a
Okay.
little tedious for me.
Okay.
So it dropped it out of the 9 because it was so many damn tracks. Should I? Maybe not. But to me, it's going to take so long for me to get through what I want to hear as a whole. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So, and I
It's
don't want
music.
it to be.
It's not a movie.
Right. And I don't want it to be background music.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's so many cuts that it turns into background, and I go, oh, that's my song right there.
Right.
I would rather go through it and go, yeah, that's that
I
shit.
enjoyed
oh my
it,
God, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this the one that she blah blah. Oh, now it's over.
Okay.
But it's so long, so it took a little away from me from that. If not, I have to admit that the R&B stuff that I've been hearing, it
Doesn't
can't
compare.
hold up. It can't
Yeah.
stand up to this.
Yeah, it can't, man.
It can't.
The creativity on this album is through the roof.
Yep.
You know, it's like, I'm telling you, dog, it literally made me listen to the rap like, what the fuck am I listening to? Based on R&B.
Right.
You
but
know,
it's feel.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
rap gives you stories or clever lines but again, and I'm going back to your boy, XXXTentacion.
Right.
He gave you a feel.
Yeah, yep.
So whether you wanted to hear rap or R&B or singing, regardless, he gave you a feel.
Yeah.
So when you put it on again, you're
gonna have
something.
that same.
She's
exactly.
doing that.
You hit it right on the nail, and that's why I enjoy it, and that's why I can't turn it off, because it gives me this energy. It gives me this spiritual consciousness, more or less. When I'm listening to it, it kind of like opens up shit.
Yep.
When I'm listening to it. And it's like comforting.
It pulls.
Yes.
You know, so as she's saying in the topic, she's pulling from things, either your life, what you think about, what somebody else is going through that you actually are connected to. If you go through what she's saying, you get it. You get that. But the sad part too is she may be left out in the cold, just like Solange was.
Yep. Oh yeah, for sure. I don't doubt that at all.
Yeah. And that's why I really hate the industry that promotes popularity. And it promotes that, but then even within the popularity, it's kind of, I don't want certain people to get certain accolades. Hence Beyonce, which was one of the best albums that came out that had substance about it.
Right.
She was singing about substance.
The Lemonade album?
Yep.
You know what? I listen. I'm not a big Beyonce fan, I never dissected it. I listened to it the first time, and I was just like, and then I cut it off.
So that's the only reason why I listened to it. I didn't listen to it for her singing ability and her production. I just heard she had some great topics that she was trying to pull out.
Yeah, she had some good writers.
Yeah, so I was kind of like, damn, you know what? As a real popular artist, she said, I'm going to speak to these. Yeah. I got to give her credit for that.
Yeah.
I don't ever put it back on again, but I'm just saying. But that's the thing. But with this, you know, we even talked to Dr. Hodge and what you said, the world, the illness in the world is depression.
Yeah.
And people are depressed about so many things. And you got these artists that are going through it, but you don't even know
it.
But now they're saying, "Oh, I gotta
speak about it." You know,
yeah.
You know what? It is okay to speak about it. And again, I don't know if it's all credit goes to J. Cole, but I feel like J. Cole was the start of this movement of just being honest, just being true. You know, and just giving the true essence of you. You know, when he dropped the For Your Eyes Only. That was a Phil album too.
Yep.
You know,
that's true.
And it was like damn. Dog.
But he kind of started it because when you made me say no, you need to. I was like, damn. Remember? Oh, he was out in when he moved out with in the suburbs and
right,
the neighbors and shit, and then telling these dudes, look, man, you don't glorify these shits that you're going through, and he was just going through it. And then he had the two about his wife, and then the one about his daughter, and you kind of like, damn, bro, okay, we going there.
Yeah, and it was so natural, it was so free, it was so smooth.
Yep.
And I believe again, J. Cole is people. It's an argument, but J. Cole is the trendsetter out here. J. Cole is the hip hop trendsetter. He's not the rap trendsetter. Right. You know, that would be more of the young artists and 2 Chainz. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or the South rappers.
Those South rappers.
You know,
because they established that you're gonna run behind
swag
us.
rap.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Shit like that.
So, but yeah, totally commend him. She gets hella praise.
So we're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be back with Rapsody.